From the dawn of human history, mysterious creatures and legends have haunted our imagination. These are beings that blur the line between myth and reality, stories whispered around campfires, sightings passed from generation to generation, and mysteries that science cannot fully explain. Cryptozoology, the study of hidden or unknown animals, dives into these legends, searching for truth behind the tales. In this volume, we explore some of the most fascinating and terrifying creatures ever reported, beings that might still walk, swim, or fly in the shadows of our world. 1. Fairies. For centuries, fairies have captured the imagination of people across the world. Known by many names, fair folk, little people, or nature spirits, these beings have been at the heart of folklore in Europe and beyond. In Celtic mythology, they were described as mystical creatures who lived between the human world and the spiritual realm. Many believed fairies were protectors of nature, tied to forests, rivers, and meadows. Yet others feared them, claiming fairies could bring misfortune, illness, or even abduct humans, especially children. The dual nature of fairies, as both enchanting and dangerous, has made them one of the most enduring figures in cryptozoology and myth. Legend from Ireland and Scotland described the Tuatha De Danann, a race of godlike beings who were said to retreat into the hills and underground mounds after losing battles against humans. These beings eventually became what we know as the fairies of folklore. They were described as immortal, glowing, and capable of wielding magic. Farmers once left offerings of milk and bread on their doorsteps to keep fairies happy, believing that if neglected, the fair folk would curse the household or spoil the crops. The fascination with fairies continued into the modern age. In the early 20th century, the famous Cottony fairies photographs created worldwide controversy. Two young girls in England claimed they had captured real photographs of fairies in their garden. The images fooled many, including famous writer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who defended them as proof of the supernatural. Decades later, the photographs were revealed as hoaxes, but the mystery of fairies never faded. People still report sightings of glowing figures, strange voices in the woods, and unexplained lights that they associate with fairy presence. While science dismisses these accounts as imagination or natural phenomena, for many believers, fairies remain guardians of nature, beings that remind us of the unseen world surrounding us. 2. Tyrannosaurus, Siberian, seen in the Congo rainforest. The Tyrannosaurus rex is perhaps the most famous dinosaur in history, known as the king of the tyrant lizards. Officially, it went extinct about 65 million years ago. Yet cryptozoologists suggest that in remote and unexplored parts of the earth, creatures resembling Tyrannosaurus might still survive. One such claim comes from Siberia, where ancient legends speak of giant reptiles roaming the frozen wilderness. Stories passed down through local tribes describe monstrous predators that left behind unusual tracks in the snow. Although no fossils of Tyrannosaurus have been found in Siberia, the possibility of dinosaur-like creatures lurking in remote regions sparks curiosity. Even more intriguing are reports from the Congo rainforest in Africa. There, explorers and locals tell stories of Mokelmbem, a massive creature resembling a sauropod or carnivorous dinosaur. First reported in the 18th and 19th centuries by missionaries and colonial explorers, Mokelmbem is described as a long-necked beast that hides in rivers and swamps, attacking boats and scaring fishermen. Some cryptozoologists link these accounts to the survival of dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus or other prehistoric reptiles, hidden deep in unexplored rainforest regions. Scientists argue that these sightings could be misidentifications of hippos, crocodiles, or even legends exaggerated over generations. Yet the sheer number of consistent stories makes the mystery difficult to dismiss. If a large reptile has survived in the Congo or Siberia, it would rewrite history as we know it. Whether these reports are truth or folklore, they continue to fuel the belief that not all dinosaurs vanished with the Great Extinction. 3. The Kongomoto, Papua New Guinea, and Siberia. The Kongomoto is one of Africa's most terrifying cryptids, but similar creatures have been reported in Papua New Guinea and even Siberia. Described as a massive, bat-like or pterosaur-like creature with leathery wings, sharp teeth, and a wingspan reaching 7 feet, the Kongomoto inspires fear wherever it is spoken of. The name itself means overwhelmer of boats, as locals claim the creature attacks fishermen in rivers, overturning canoes and dragging people into the water. Reports of the Kongomoto stretch back centuries in Central Africa, where tribes describe it as a dangerous predator. In the 1920s, explorer Frank Melland included accounts of the Kolomoto in his book In Witchbound Africa. When shown pictures of prehistoric pterosaurs, locals allegedly identified them as the very creatures they had seen. The connection between these reports and pterosaurs suggests that the Kolomoto could be a living fossil, a species thought to have gone extinct 65 million years ago. Interestingly, sightings of similar creatures appear in Papua New Guinea, where the ropin, another pterosaur-like cryptid, is said to glow at night and hunt fish. Some explorers claim the ropin emits a bioluminescent light, making it visible against the dark jungle sky. Even Siberia, far from tropical swamps, has stories of giant winged reptiles said to haunt remote valleys. Could these creatures be related? Cryptozoologists suggest they might represent a surviving branch of prehistoric flyers, scattered across the globe in isolated regions. Skeptics believe they are nothing more than misidentified birds, bats, or exaggerated folklore. Still, the Kolomoto continues to terrify those who claim to encounter it. 4. Giant, red hair. Humans once walked upon the earth. Are they still alive today? The legend of giants is one of humanity's oldest and most mysterious tales. Many ancient cultures speak of enormous humans who once walked the earth. In Native American folklore, especially among the Paiute tribe, stories tell of red-haired giants known as the Saiti-Ka. According to oral tradition, these giants were fierce cannibals who terrorized the smaller tribes. Eventually, the Paiute banded together and trapped the giants inside a cave, setting fire to it and destroying them. In the 20th century, archaeologists excavated Lovelock Cave in Nevada, where unusually large skeletons and red hair were allegedly found. Though skeptics dismiss the remains as distorted artifacts, the story of red-haired giants remains one of the most debated mysteries in American cryptozoology. Beyond Native American lore, the Bible and other ancient texts also speak of giants. The Nephilim, described in the book of Genesis, was said to be the offspring of angels and humans, beings of extraordinary size and strength. Across Europe, Asia, and South America, myths of giants appear repeatedly. Stone structures like Stonehenge, the walls of Sacsayhuaman in Peru, and Easter Island statues have all been linked to giant builders in some legends. How else? People wonder, could ancient civilizations move such massive stones without modern machinery? Skeptics argue that these myths are symbolic, representing powerful tribes or exaggerated tales of tall people. Yet the recurring theme of red-haired or towering giants across distant cultures suggests a deeper mystery. Could there once have been a race of giant humans that has since vanished? Or are the giant skeletons that occasionally surface simply misidentified remains? Whatever the case, giants remain one of the most fascinating cryptozoological mysteries, beings that might once have lived among us, leaving only fragments of their story behind. 5. The Wendigo, Native American. In the cold, desolate forests of North America, the legend of the Wendigo continues to strike fear even today. This terrifying creature originates from the folklore of the Algonquin, Cree, and Ojibwe tribes, where it is described as a spirit of endless hunger and insatiable greed. According to tradition, when a person resorted to cannibalism in the unforgiving winter wilderness, driven by desperation, starvation, or madness, they risked being transformed into a Wendigo. This transformation was seen not only as physical but also spiritual, a punishment that turned a human being into something monstrous. The descriptions of the Wendigo are among the most chilling in Native American lore. Legends tell of a creature taller than any man, its body emaciated, with decaying skin stretched tightly over its bones. Its eyes glow with an unnatural fire, and its mouth is filled with jagged, razor-sharp teeth. In some tales, it bears antlers or a deer-like skull upon its head, making it appear like a nightmarish fusion of human and beast. The Wendigo roams the forest with a terrible hunger, searching for human flesh, but no matter how much it consumes, it is never satisfied. This endless craving symbolizes not only physical starvation, but also the corruption of the soul by greed and selfishness. For the native tribes, the Wendigo was more than a monster. It was a warning. The story carried a profound moral lesson. Those who put their own survival above all else, especially by consuming others, would lose their humanity. The Wendigo embodied the dangers of unchecked greed, isolation, and spiritual corruption, reminding communities of the importance of unity, compassion, and restraint, even in times of desperate hunger. In modern times, The Wendigo has stepped beyond oral tradition and into popular culture, becoming a fixture in horror films, novels, and video games. However, these portrayals often focus on the monster's frightening appearance while overlooking the deeper cultural and moral meanings behind the legend. Anthropologists and psychologists have studied the story extensively, even coining the term Wendigo psychosis to describe rare cases in which individuals, under severe stress and starvation, developed an uncontrollable fear of turning into cannibals. Whether viewed as a supernatural creature, a cautionary tale, or a psychological phenomenon, the Wendigo remains one of the most terrifying figures in North American folklore. It represents hunger without end, greed without limit, and the horrifying possibility of losing one's humanity to primal instincts. For many, it is not merely a myth but a chilling reminder that true monsters can be born from within. 6. Donkey Lady, San Antonio, Texas. Urban legends are often as chilling as ancient myths, and the story of the Donkey Lady of San Antonio, Texas, stands out as one of the most haunting. According to local folklore, a woman once lived peacefully on a farm near the Medina River with her husband and children. Her life, however, took a dark and tragic turn. Different versions of the story exist, but many claim that her husband, abusive and violent, set a fire that consumed their home. Trapped inside, she suffered horrific burns. Her face melted into a grotesque mask, her hands fused into hoof-like stumps, and her anguished screams took on a strange, braying tone, eerily similar to that of a donkey. Unable to live among society after her disfigurement, she fled into the wilderness, her soul twisted by pain, rage, and betrayal. Over time, stories grew of a terrifying figure lurking near the Medina River. She was said to stalk travelers, her distorted silhouette visible in the moonlight, her cries echoing like the call of a tormented animal. The legend centered around a site now infamous in San Antonio, the Donkey Lady Bridge. Countless locals and thrill-seekers have visited it, reporting strange phenomena. Heavy footsteps pounding across the bridge, a shadowy figure keeping pace with cars, or ghostly screams that seem to chase them into the night. Some claim to have seen a monstrous face press against their car windows, half human, half beast, vanishing the moment they tried to look directly at it. Skeptics dismiss the story as nothing more than a campfire tale designed to scare children and keep them away from the river at night. Yet the sheer volume of reports, from locals, travelers, and even paranormal investigators, suggests that something unusual lingers at that site. Whether it is a restless spirit, a manifestation of urban fear, or simply the power of folklore, the Donkey Lady had become an inseparable part of San Antonio's identity. What makes the Donkey Lady legend so enduring is its blend of tragedy and horror. At its heart lies a story of cruelty and loss, an innocent woman who became a monster not by choice, but through the cruelty inflicted upon her. Her tale resonates because it embodies universal fears, betrayal, suffering, and the transformation of humanity into something monstrous. For believers, she is not just a frightening figure but a chilling reminder that legends are often born from real pain, and that cruelty has the power to create monsters, both literal and metaphorical. Whether real or imagined, the Donkey Lady remains a symbol of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most ordinary of lives, forever haunting those brave enough to cross a bridge at night. 7. Megalodon.Shark. Of all cryptozoological creatures, the Megalodon may be the most scientifically plausible. This enormous shark once dominated Earth's oceans millions of years ago, growing up to 60 feet in length. With jaws powerful enough to crush whales, the Megalodon was the ultimate predator of the seas. Officially, it went extinct around 3.6 million years ago, but many believe it may still lurk in the deep. Throughout history, sailors have told stories of massive sea monsters, some large enough to swallow boats whole. Modern reports continue, with fishermen and divers describing giant shadows, enormous teeth, and terrifying encounters in the open ocean. One of the most chilling modern mysteries occurred in 2003. Researchers had tagged a female great white shark to track its movements, but just 2 months later, the shark's body washed up on a beach. When scientists retrieved the tracking data, they were stunned. The shark had suddenly plunged 1,900 feet deep into the ocean. Immediately afterward, the tag recorded a rapid temperature rise, matching the heat found inside a digestive system. To many cryptozoologists, this suggests the shark was attacked and swallowed by something much larger, sparking renewed theories of a living megalodon or an undiscovered predator of unimaginable size. Skeptics argue that the oceans have been thoroughly studied, and the megalodon could not remain hidden. Yet the truth is, more than 80% of the deep ocean remains unexplored. Entire ecosystems and species are still being discovered in its crushing darkness. In such vast, mysterious waters, is it truly impossible that an ancient predator could still roam undetected? The megalodon captures the imagination because it represents the ocean's greatest enigma, the possibility that one of history's deadliest hunters still stalks beneath the waves, reminding us how little we truly know about the abyss. Cryptozoology lives in the space between belief and skepticism. The creatures we explored, whether fairies, giants, the Wendigo, or the mighty megalodon, may never be proven to exist. Yet their stories endure, passed down through generations, shaping our fears and our fascination with the unknown. They remind us that even in an age of science and technology, mystery still surrounds us. Perhaps one day, explorers and researchers will uncover undeniable proof. Until then, these legends will continue to haunt our imagination, daring us to wonder, what if the world still hides secrets waiting to be discovered? Don't forget to like and subscribe, because this is only the beginning of the journey into the unknown.